Hi, you're watching Access Asia on France 24. I'm Haxi Myers-Belkin. Coming up in today's show, we meet the transgender women fighting for equality and protection in Pakistan. The country may legally recognise the existence of a third gender, but discrimination against the community is rife. Importing fish to the Indian Ocean from Scotland and relocating coral reefs, the environment takes a hit in the pursuit of five-star luxury in the Maldives. And we head to Japan, where men and women appear to be losing interest in each other, as they turn instead to the romantic opportunities offered by digital avatars. Let's start in Pakistan, the world's only Muslim country to formally recognise the existence of a third gender. The category covers a wide range of gender identities and can apply to transgendered people, as well as eunuchs and transvestites. But those choosing to shun traditional male-female gender roles still face discrimination and violence on a daily basis, as Shirley Sitborn reports.
It's party time for the girls, a coming-of-age celebration in Peshawar's transgender community. Pakistan is one of only 7 countries to legally recognize a third gender. But Khawajaseras, which include cross-dressers, transsexuals, and eunuchs, are shunned in this conservative Muslim society. Most born as boys are rejected by their families and end up earning money from dancing at weddings, begging, or sex work. Sahana fled her home when the Taliban moved in.
Everyone was teasing us, mocking us, whenever they saw us, calling us names, shouting at us, and even throwing stones at us. And with the Taliban, if a man had no facial hair, they would be cruel to him.
Many transgender people have been displaced from tribal areas. Here in Peshawar, they were faced with another challenge. Under its rules, the UN can only help displaced families, leaving this community on the sidelines.
They've organized sit-ins in Peshawar, organized demonstrations in front of UN offices, government offices, called seminar and consultations, but actually nothing has happened. But yes, what happened was that it triggered a public-led movement, which was not there.
Since 2009, third-gender Pakistanis can be identified as such on their ID cards. They have the right to vote and run in elections. A court has even ruled transgender people should be included in Pakistan's upcoming census for the first time. But little is done for their protection. One of them, Alicia, was attacked and eventually died after doctors denied her proper treatment because of her identity. Her friend Paro has herself been kidnapped, gang-raped, tortured, and shot.
After the death of Alicia, my heart was broken. I had put some money aside, so I spent some of it on her funeral, and I started a small business with the rest.
Although security around the house is tight, Paro is still afraid. Since 2015, more than 50 transgender people have been killed in this province alone.
It's set to be the world's tallest statue, twice the height of the Statue of Liberty. Plans to build a vast tribute to a 17th century Hindu warrior king off the coast of Mumbai have the full backing of local and national government. But that enthusiasm isn't shared by the local Kohli community of fishermen. They fear that the construction of the monument will sound a death knell for their way of life.
A historic fishing community tucked behind Mumbai's financial district. The Kohlis are the original inhabitants of India's commercial capital and have been fishing here for centuries. But they fear that a plan to build the world's tallest statue in the sea will threaten their way of life.
The breeding ground for fish will be completely destroyed. Our livelihoods are at stake.
The statue of 17th century Hindu warrior Shivaji will cost more than $500 million. And stand 190 meters tall, twice the size of America's Statue of Liberty. Due to be completed by 2021, Kohli leaders also argue that visitor ferries to the memorial site just off Mumbai's coast will block their access to the sea.
We have spoken to the government and urged them to change the location.
Shivaji fought the Mughal Muslim Empire and is trumpeted by Hindu nationalist parties. Critics say the construction costs would be better spent on improving people's lives, pointing out that there are already many smaller Shivaji memorials across Mumbai. Supporters insist the money will be recouped and dismiss environmentalists' concerns of harm to marine life.
This memorial will attract many tourists, including foreigners, for years to come.
The government plans to provide new jobs for 400 Kohli families. But that's little consolation for these fisherfolk, who just want their way of life to continue.
For high-end holidaymakers, the Maldives are synonymous with luxury, holidays that certainly don't come cheap. But there's also a high environmental cost to providing a 5-star experience in the middle of the Indian Ocean, as Alexander Orkot reports.
This restaurant is an inverted aquarium. As the customers eat food made with only the finest ingredients, they're treated to the unparalleled beauty of the open ocean all around them. It's part of one of the most luxurious hotels in all the Maldives. The resort's managing director spent €8 million constructing the restaurant, gambling that it would make the venue stand out.
This is definitely a unique selling point for us, for advertising. Because of the tough fights in sales and marketing, we believe that this would attract people from all over the world. And you know, the proof is in the pudding. The resort now is running at 90% full.
It looks too good to be true, and indeed it is. What the customers can't see is that the coral reef is artificially created using concrete blocks. The anemones and plants were uprooted from their natural habitats to be placed on show. These are the customers paying tens of thousands to stay on the private island. And when you're paying top dollar, only the best will do.
We'll be enjoying a 5-star hotel. It will be wonderful and very relaxing.
And for these demanding customers, the chef takes no risks. He only serves products they love and that they know. The hotel has especially imported these scallops from Scotland, some 9,000 kilometers away.
Like here, we don't even need to look for the prices, so I have no one to tell me, okay, you have to go for the cheap fish. So here we can really spend money as well, and then when you can buy the scallop and the whole shell and things like that.
The chef doesn't worry about the price, nor the environmental impact of importing from so far away. Everything that comes by air arrives at the Maldives' only airport. Here, the lobster has been brought in from France. Even fish, which can be found in abundance in the surrounding Indian Ocean, are imported from European waters.
When you buy from the market, you buy bulk, there will be a spoiled one also. But here it's not like that, everything is perfect.
It's what they are looking for.
That's what.
So tourists, they are coming to visit Maldives, and they eat food from Paris.
Oh yeah.
It's a little bit crazy, no?
Yeah, it is look like.
But in providing the height of luxury, the developers mustn't forget that their resorts are placed on some of the most fragile ecosystems in the world.
Now, the trials and tribulations of modern dating are well documented. Dating apps have opened up a world of possibility for new romantic encounters, and the choice or competition can be overwhelming. So overwhelming, in fact, that in Japan, young people are increasingly paying escorts to wine and dine them. Others are rejecting real flesh and blood partners altogether, opting instead for virtual boyfriends and girlfriends.
Last Valentine's Day, this was a Japanese date theme, eating insects. The concept may give a hint into why some Japanese are reluctant to have romantic encounters. The insect story may be just an odd and insignificant event, but studies show Japanese dating is changing. For example, this male escort identified as Ken is for many an ideal man. Artificial tan, long hair, and he's open to various requests, including sex.
Well, we don't have to have sex as part of our service. But as we are aiming to please, on principle, we have to answer our clients' demands. So yes, it has its place.
It's great to see the hosts doing what we want because we're the ones spending money.
Pleasing customers brings big cash. Some pay more than $100,000 per date, and luxurious gifts are always welcome. Overall, Japan's host clubs generate $10 billion. Those who rather not flirt with prostitutes have other original alternatives to genuine human relations. Having a virtual lover, for example, through romance-simulated apps. Sounds impossible? Well, listen to the fans.
I doubted I could have a loving relationship with characters that look like they're from a manga, but once I got into it, I found them very cute.
In our games, we tell idealized love stories. We want women to enjoy this world without any superficial and negative elements, like rivals or sad endings.
Virtual love stories appear so ideal that some users see true romance in a distorted way. In Japan, a part of the population has already stopped dating and having sex, which is considered too tiring. Addiction to smartphones certainly doesn't help.
Now we're going to end this edition of Access Asia with 94-year-old Zhang Hexian. She may look like your average Chinese grandma, but